Hello and welcome to the Gameweek 38 preview! The last ever preview of the season. Aww. But first, let's look at the Gameweek 37 review. Norwich Burnley. When you get 2 red cards in the first half, it ain't gonna end well for you, is it? But when Chris Wood is scoring an overhead kick against you, that's when you know you truly don't belong in this league. 2-0 to Shawnee Daishi here. Bournemouth Brighton. Daddy being the absolute daddy and almost scoring 2 goals, but missing a penalty. But don't worry, he actually did it to give Cherries a little bit of hope for them to just get slam dunked back into the championship in the 90th minute anyway. Spurs Leicester. Guess what, Leicester? You just got caned. Harry visiting the dentist again and getting another brace to slam dunk Leicester outside of the Champions League places. Unlucky. 3-0 there. Brighton Newcastle. Like I said, no one cares, no one cared. 0-0. Still don't care. Sheffield United, Everton. I think the Blades need to sharpen their own weapon because they haven't been a weapon at all the last few weeks. Losing to this Everton. And they have Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. But it was a goal from Richarlison Dino to make it 1-0 Everton. Wolves Palace. Poor 20-year-old Mitchell having to come up against the horse-eating, protein beast Adama Traore in his first ever start. And we all know how that went. Like, are we sure Traore doesn't have protein shakes in the drink break? 2-0 Wolves. Watford, Man City. Damn, not a good performance from Watford. I think they might want to try and sack their manager and see if that works out better, yeah? But that means Man City have beat Watford an aggregate of 12-0 in 2 league games this season. Not bad from Pep, the Baldy himself. 4-0 here. Villa, Arsenal. In typical Arsenal fashion, beat Man City and Liverpool in 4 days, and then lose to relegation battling Villa in the same week. An absolute masterclass from Arteta, making sure their fans stay humble. 1-0 to up the Villa. Ooh. Man United, West Ham. Self-proclaimed Premier League champions next season, Man United already having a telling off, with big man Antonio putting them in their place. But an average performance really, making it 1-1. Liverpool, Chelsea. Pulisic had a totally sick and rad game, man, where all of the goal assisters happened, finishing 5-3 with 8 different goal scorers, and not one of them was Salah or Mane, their top goal scorers. What? With the game week average being 53 points. Damn. The highest points being a total of 139. Easy. With my team getting the not sponsored by Burger King, but still a big whopper, 71 points. Woohoo! Making my rank actually only go up a little bit from 38k to 34k. Perfect. I'm ready for that one final push to number 1. I know about that, but with my team looking like this. Oh my god, guys. A Wolves clean sheet? That didn't get RKO'd in the last touch of the game? Well, hey! But maybe even more surprisingly, Patricio actually made 3 saves in a game. For the first time in 10 game weeks. For all of the 7 points from him. Sir Trent Alexander. Big boy 13 points from him. And he didn't even get a clean sheet. Like, how is a defender getting 13 points without a clean sheet? So a goal and assist there for the out-of-form Trent, which will go straight in my basket and into his basket where he now has over 200 points this season. Not bad. Very nice. My man Doherty. Clean sheet, easy. Assist, easy. Stealing all the bonus points even though another defender had a goal, easy stuff. 12 points from Mr. Mathieu and doing absolute bits. Finally. Wan-Bissaka. More like Wan-Bissaka after he didn't even start and then comes on at half-time getting himself just the 1 point. And if he didn't play at all, I would have got the 6 points from Aurier on the bench. But that did not happen, so that is in fact what they call unlucky. Mo Salah. Okay, how can your team score 5 goals and none of those goals are from your 2 top scorers? Like, when Firmino is outscoring you, then you know it's been a bad day at the office. But he's still got an assist, so I'll take the 5 points. Kevin De Bruyne! Now, he's not actually been the best since the restart, has he? Only the 2 goals and 3 assists and 5 stats are terrible. But only an assist and a clean sheet from him here. Getting me the 6-2-12, which, you know what, I'm always happy about some captain points. Better than nothing, so yes, Kevlad. Riyad Mahrez. Now, I was actually really tempted to transfer him to Son, or maybe even benching him, and either of those would have paid off, but only by a little bit, so not too bad. But what was bad was the only 1 point from him. Bruno! Therefore a big Bruno this week, after he scored his lowest FPL points total for a game this entire season, with only getting 1 point. He's actually not looked the best in the last few games, but you just know he'll still end up scoring a penalty and a free kick next game, you know. Phil Foden. Fill me with hope, Foden. Actually, got a goal. Hey! I decided to play him over Greenwood, which looked good, but then actually did end up costing me 1 point. But Foden was actually my highest scoring midfielder or forward this week that I actually played, so I can't complain with starting him, I guess. Daddy Ings with the biggest of, I like it! He scores, we're hey! Southampton get a penalty, we're hey! He takes the penalty, we're hey! And then he misses. With that miss, making him lose not only the points he would have had for scoring, not only the points for missing, but also off all of the bonus points, meaning he could have had 13 points, but only ended up getting the 4. Not very daddy behaviour from him. Finishing with a player I brought in last minute to hopefully give me some wood, and it's Chris Wood. Now, I would have taken a goal before the game easily, but he actually could have had a lot more. For 7 points from a Burnley striker, now that is a big boy flex. But my transfers this week was Wood in, meaning I benched Greenwood, where I was tempted to sell Mahrez and get Son in and then play Greenwood, which would have worked out a bit better. But Foden and Wood scored, so actually the only points I lost out on was the potential bonus that they had. So could have been worse, could have been better, but it wasn't too bad. 71 points now brings us to a total of 2,246. Very possible of getting to that 2,300 point mark, big boy mark, next week. We're now the Game Week 38 preview! The final game week of the season. It always has a bit of extra spice, all the goals and all the unpredictableness and all the fun ready to happen. We start with Arsenal-Watford. Now, to start the very high scoring, very unpredictable week, we have a 1-0 win Arsenal. But yeah, you know, predicting an Arsenal win is very ballsy, so against all the odds, 1-0 to them. Burnley-Brighton. Next up in the all goals, all the late drama to happen, we have a 0-0. Okay, yeah, but both teams have nothing to play for. Both been quite a bit naff recently. And I wouldn't be surprised if the only highlights of this game is just the camera on Sean Dyche all game, because he's that good. Chelsea-Wolves. Potentially a very big game for both of them here, where they both need to win to secure Champions League and Europa League spots. But they could also get it from losing, so why not go all out for it? So a very intense balls to the walls, 3-2 to Chelsea. Palace-Spurs. Now, Roy Hodgson does not look like a happy owl right now, does he? With this Palace being very, 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 very bad. Conceding all the goals too, where Spurs, and especially Kane, love smashing that net in the last day of the season, getting all the goals. So 4-0 to Spursy here. Everton-Brighton. Everton fighting for charity here, where they have absolutely nothing to play for. Where Bournemouth have got a really difficult task, where they desperately need to win, whilst also hoping that Villa and Watford both do not get a single point. Now, the Cherries do have quite a few good attackers in their team, so I am expecting them to just chuck 10 men up front, getting that 3-2 victory royale. Leicester-Man United. Who would have thought that the start that both of them had, that Leicester would have to settle for Europa League, with Man United currently being third. Now that is actually quite impressive. But it all comes down to this game, where the winner of them is guaranteed Champions League football next season. Who will it be? But 3-1 to United is what the ref's prediction is here. Man City, Norwich. Oh dear. Even though we predicted that City would smash the other City the last time they played, even though it was the Norwich City getting the win last time, I think this time is slightly different. Norwich also having players suspended and still got injuries, so I can just see them completely giving up, tapping out, and scoring a few own goals too. Why not? 7-0 to City, the Manchester one. Finishing the game week, and this entire year of Premier League, long football year, my last ever prediction of the year, with the champions Liverpool winning 3-0 against Stevie Brucey. Newcastle on the beach, as they call it, getting a suntan instead of playing foosball, where Liverpool will be looking to finish in style. 3-0 to them here. And somehow I've completely forgot about 2 more games, so here's my predictions for them. Oops. With my team currently looking like this. Well, not really. So this is my team before the free hit button was activated. A lot of players here are actually going to be in my team and most people's free hits team anyway. And I would actually expect quite a high score from this team in this game week as well. And if I wasn't going to hit the free hit button, I wouldn't have got like Chris Wood in my team and probably got Mahrez to Son, which would have made my team quite good for this week. But nowhere near as good as my brand new free hit team, with this. Starting in goals, we have Emi Martinez. Been doing quite well for Arsenal, and the good thing about Arsenal is that even when their defence is good and they get the clean sheet, a few saves are still required. So even more chance for points for Big Emi right here. I think he is much more guaranteed to get a clean sheet than Patricio would have done for me, where I am comparing the players I had in my team if I hadn't a free hit to back up my decision choice in, and showing that the free hit is definitely worth it for me. Our first defender being Trent, who would also be Trent if I didn't free hit. Now, before the Chelsea game, I think I would have rathered Robertson like most people, but as Trent shows, being on those set pieces means you can get all of the extra points. So he's in, not moving. Next to him being Aurier. Now, even though Aurier is in my normal team, he's barely been making the starting 11. But this week against Palace, I feel like there's a very good chance for him to get all the points from a guaranteed clean sheet, and also a very good chance of getting attacking returns with the high positions he loves being in. Where I guess Doherty would be here for me normally, where against Chelsea, I don't think he'll get as much as big man Aurier, and also he's more expensive. With my final defender being Peters. My first actual Burnley clean sheet locked in for the first time in way too long. Burnley have the second most clean sheets out of any team in the league. Not bad from mid-table Sean Dyche, is it? But even just clean sheet points would be very tasty from him. But there's also still a possibility of more, where this would normally be Aaron 1 point per sacker for me, who is definitely not going to get more, getting all of the less points. Then moving on to the big boy midfield. I don't think I've ever had or ever will own a midfield this stacked in FPL ever again. First we have, Mane. Now this would normally be more Salah for me. And to be honest, if I did have the money, I probably would go Salah over Mane. But with Mane being much less owned, he could actually be a great differential here, where on his day can score much more than Salah. Where for the most part, my team is very similar to others, so Mane gives that chance of shooting up the ranks too. Ready for his hat-trick. Next to him, and actually the first time I've owned him since like game week 4, it's Raheem Sterling. One of the most guaranteed to play Man City players here, I'd assume, but Pep. Best form out of any City player right now, with him actually being kinda lowish owned, just because his price is so high, and if you didn't have the free hit, then you might not be able to get him in. So I reckon that's a win-win-win chicken wing here, with Sterling hopefully scoring more than Mahrez, who would have been here for me instead. Next being Kevin De Bruyne, who if I didn't have my free hit, would be Kevin De Bruyne. Now, I'm not actually certain he starts here, but hopefully he does, because he's got that assist record to go barking mad for, getting all the points for the sexy ginger lad himself. But even if he doesn't start, he could quite easily get something off the bench, right? Next to him being Anthony Martial, who I've actually only owned for 2 weeks this entire season. An out-of-position Man United striker. What? But to be fair, he has been injured for about 300 weeks of this season. But he replaces Bruno here, as not only is he cheaper, not only is he less owned, but he's probably in better form, and being the main attacker and the striker for Man United, much more likely to get more points, right? Yes, easy points, easy goals for me. Finishing this stodgy midfield with David Silva. Imagine having 5 midfielders, and the cheapest one is David Silva. Definitely guaranteed to start for his last ever Premier League game for Man City, and I doubt he'd be getting penalties, but he doesn't need them. A couple of free kick goals is enough for him. Where I would normally have Foden here instead of him, but David, potential captain David Silva, he can do it. Finishing the team with the 2 deadliest English strikers in the league. Oh wait, never mind. Daddy Ings isn't here. But first we have Harry Kane, which is also the first time I've owned him all season. Mad. But especially against this out-of-form Palace, we could see a lot of goals from a very hot, fiery, on-form Kane. So all the goals ready to go in and ready to sing, "You just got caned." Finishing the team with the absolute baller himself, Mason Greenwood. Imagine thinking at the start of the season that most of us would have Greenwood starting over Aubameyang or Rashford by the end of the season. But Greenwood here, at his price and his returns, is the perfect secondary United cover, just in case they go absolute mad against Leicester. With this duo of Kane and Greenwood also being Chris Wood and Daddy Ings if it wasn't for the free hit. Slight upgrade from Chris Wood, I think. So there we have it. My current definitely could still change, especially if there's last minute team news. Free hit team. We have Liverpool cover. Big boy Man City cover with that trio, probably getting a lot of points there. Still double Man United cover, and Spurs cover for all the Kane goals. Now, I don't have any Chelsea cover, I don't have any Arsenal attackers, and I no longer have Chris Wood, so this could go very bad. But you would imagine with this team, it's a definite green arrow, surely, and could even break 100 points easily, going straight into number 1 in the world. Yeah, so that is it for me for now, and potentially all before the last ever game of the season kicks off. I will be recording my reaction to all of the games as they happened the last day of the season, bringing that video out straight away, and also bringing you a season review straight after that too. So thank you so much for watching this last ever preview of the season, and remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now.